Alright, here we are, the last bit. Now, this is the end of the story, so what I'm going to try to do is load myself up a little bit. So all I have left is I'm just going to go to the closest place where I can kinda replenish my gear, which I guess will be over here. That's odd. Usually it will tell me if it's what type of specific side mission it's going to be, but I guess spoilers, I guess they didn't want to tell me. So we're at the end of the road. So I guess I'll do some exploring afterwards if there is a possibility to explore afterwards. Like I said, this is still my blind run.
Thanks for keeping this place safe.
Alright, Peaches.
I'll be there in 2 shakes. By that I mean I ain't done peeing yet, and I'll be there after. You think it'd be cool if when I roll up I make one of them bald eagle screams like "Caw, caw"? It sounded cooler in my head, actually.
Take the wheel. I don't even care. I always get lost.
Keep your eyes on the road. I'll do the rest.
You got your bow hunting license, yes?
You got your flame-throwing license, Sharky?
You don't need one.
Well, that's fucking terrifying.
Alright. I know there's a side mission there. One last mission.
You know dolphins can talk? Yeah. I mean, they have names for each other and their cliques and stuff. But here's what I want to know. If they got names like Lord Fauntleberry, or if it's more like a Brad and Jen kind of thing. Just casual.
You need to watch yourself, Sharky. Whole county's dry as a bone.
I know, trust me, I know. Can't find any drinks anywhere.
I meant your fucking flamethrower.
We have to go on a dirt road just to get to Joseph. Off-road, baby.
I was like a half ghost just now.
Alrighty then.
I hope she just kind of plays along. It should tell me right away if I have to turn back around if I want to finish everything. Am I here? Why do you take the most awkward path ever?
They're gonna have to up their game if they want to play with us.
Girl, you fucking aced that shit. Fucking incredible.
Everybody okay? Good.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm glad I carried an extra pair of underwear in my pocket. Semi-clean, thank you very much. You're talking to a gentleman.
We still got living to do.
Yeah, we're doing this. I already know what I'm doing. Everybody out. Oh, I guess I'm doing it on my own. Why does this not look familiar? No, I'm full. I'm good. Oh, I walked the route that I was in. Okay. Almost exactly the route we took. Here, the helicopter was right there. It was beyond the gates, landed right there. We took off. Barely made it to Dutch's Island. Now all that's left is me and you. Joseph.
And when the Lamb broke the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of the martyrs, slain because of the word of God. You made martyrs of my family. And I'm prepared to do the same to yours. But God is watching us, and He will judge us on what we choose in this moment. I told you that we were living in a world on the brink, where every slight, every injustice, where every choice reveals our sins. And where have those sins led us? Where have those sins led you?
Why? I'm looking at his
Friends have
eyes.
been taken and tortured. And it's your fault. Countless people have been killed, and it is your fault. The world is on fire, and it's your fault. Was it worth it? Was it? When are you gonna realize that every problem cannot be solved with a bullet? When you first came here, I gave you the choice to walk away. You chose not to. In the face of God, I'm making you that offer one last time. Put down your guns. You take your friends. You leave me my flock. And you go in peace.
Go in peace. You're fucking insane.
Is he? We never should have been here in the first place.
You know what to do, Rook.
God is watching. Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven.
Give me this option, Joseph.
Take your friends, my child, and go.
Rook, let's go.
What? What are you doing? Brooke. Sheriff,
Get in the truck.
I'm not leaving.
Hudson, get in the
You
truck.
lost your fucking mind.
Get in the goddamn truck! Sometimes it's best to just leave well enough alone. Let's go.
I don't know whether it was a good thing or not. Nick. We just need to get the hell out of here, and that's all. Was it the right thing? I don't know. I really don't know anymore.
Sir, with all due respect, what the fuck? We can't just leave those people.
We're not gonna leave those people. We're going to Missoula. We're gonna get the National Guard and we're gonna bring the hammer down on that goddamn place.
No, no way. I'm not gonna be a part of this. You heard what he said.
You're gonna do exactly as you're told, Pratt.
Oh my god.
What's wrong?
Hey guys, I'm 136 here. This is basically another insert comment here moment. Couldn't go without one for the very end. Well, this is like in this part 52 and part 53. There's gonna be a slight insert comment here moment because of, well, copyright music claims. I've had to edit this video because of the song Only You being played. I was able to play a little bit of it just to kind of hint the fact like, okay, this is what happens at the very end. So This is just me kind of rambling for at least a couple minutes. An impromptu rambling bit for myself, but just to talk about kind of a more clearer view. Like part 53, I've recorded it already, I've edited it already. I'm probably going to be like cutting it down the video a little bit just so I can discuss like further. But for right now, this is my final like my commentary in regards to what's going on in what I thought about Far Cry 5. From re-reviewing, re-watching all the footage, like from my recordings and how I interacted originally with each character, like each character was interesting and unique and had their own, like, I don't know, views on Joseph. They also, like, each of them said, like, oh, well, everyone thinks they're crazy, but I don't think they're crazy. But in like John's case, John was very obsessed with like talking about the 7 deadly sins. Jacob was so into like survival of the fittest, like the extreme versions, like extreme of like, okay, you have a sin, but when you admit it and you allow me to put it on your skin and allow me to tear it off, that absolves you of the sin. In Jacob's case, the call the herd, basically saying survival of the fittest, because of his story of what happened to him when he was in the service, and like coming down to like where it was him or like him, or it was either him surviving or him dying, and he chose, okay, I'm not gonna allow myself to die, but twisted it enough so it worked in his mind, like that made it more interesting. And Faith, like, seeing how I acted with Faith is so weird. And then when I kind of thought about it a little more, it's like, this is a child. This is still a kid. This was a kid that was taken in by the seeds, who was down, like, as low as you could possibly get, like, very bad place. And instead of, like, trying to help her, they just converted her into something that would work for them. Sort of like saying, hey, look, like, in a very odd way saying, oh, well, she's like very young, so that'll entice the younger crowd to get involved with the overall group. But like from her perspective, when you're beating her, she even starts basically saying, do you think I wanted to do this? Do you think I wanted this? Like there was moments where she was waking up, like you were knocking the bliss out of her head, and her conscious mind that was basically, or that wasn't being like subdued by the bliss, automatically starts saying, yeah, like, do you think this has been easy for me? You think I enjoy watching this? Like, do you not know what's going on here? But that was the problem. Like, that's the thing that kind of, that was concerning to me. It's like the depths that Joseph's seed went to. Like, basically taking advantage of the psychological trauma that his brother went through, the psychological trauma that John went through, the nightmares that Jacob went through, and then the nightmares that Faith went through, and he basically twisted them all in a way that would work for him, and like those were his first 3 victims. His first 3 like successful experiments in psychological manipulation was his 2 brothers and this kid, or a kid when she first met them. Well, she still is a kid. In a sense, like she's still growing, and she was still growing and evolving, and that's very concerning. The introduction of all the characters, learning a little bit about each of them, like even learning about Herc and seeing like Herc just being Herc, Grace being like very respectful to the veterans and stuff like that, saying I'll defend the veterans' graves. To the death, like to the last man or last woman in her case. Nick trying to get him and his wife out of, like, justifiably so, like getting him and his wife and their newborn child out of Hope County, but her kind of telling him, no, we need to stand our ground and fight, even though like Nick, what he was trying to do was actually pretty noble. It's like, let's get you out of here. Jess, just what she had to go through, It's like even when she got her revenge on the person who basically did it to her, and she said she felt so empty. It's just like she felt nothing. She was hoping she'd feel something, and she felt nothing. Peaches and Cheeseburger, two animal companions. Oh, and Boomer. Don't forget Boomer. The animal companions. That was very interesting to see how those three worked out. Had the most fun with Cheeseburger was fun to run around with. So was Peaches. Having that combo of a cougar and a bear going toe to toe with each other was actually, or going having trying to one-upsmanship with each other with the enemies. That was hilarious. Having like Sharky and Mrs. Drubman along for the ride. Well, that was interesting. Like Sharky being like a protege of Herc, and Mrs. Drubman well being Herc's mom. That was interesting. I feel like I'm missing a couple of people, a couple of companions. Or do I have everybody? Let's see, Cheeseburger, Boomer, Peaches, Mrs. Drubman, Sharky, Jess, Nick, Grace, Herc. I think I got them. I want to say I got them all, because Nick, Grace. Okay, yeah, because Sharky. Yeah, Sharky. Oh, yeah, but anyway, like, doing each of those guys kind of showed me like, okay, well at least they have personality, and they also have interaction with each other, sort of like Saints Row 4. When I thought about that, it's like, oh, they talk to each other. Okay, but overall, I enjoyed this game. The ending was kind of like, okay, well we can't, like, so this is the quote-unquote good ending, but it doesn't really seem like a good ending. Like, it just seems like when you start hearing that song play, Only You, it seems like a epic screw you by Jacob, like the final nail in the coffin of Jacob's screw you to you, telling you, it's like, well, you think you're the hero, but you're not. Like John's iteration of saying you think you're the hero but you're not. Jacob's iteration of saying you think you're the hero, you're not. Faith saying you think that you know what you're doing but in reality you don't, you're blind. They all saying you're blind. And then even Joseph saying, well, you're blind because you really think you know the whole story. It's like he wanted you to open up the seals, yet in all of a sudden, when you decide to forgive him and leave, like accept his offer and leave, he basically goes completely back into what he was. It's like he just hard reset himself and said, oh, so you've forgiven me, I'll forgive you for all the things you've done to me too. You've killed my brothers, you killed my quote-unquote adopted sister, and killed probably hundreds at this point of my men, of my cult, of my family, and I will forgive you. Just leave. Completely ignoring the fact that he basically razzed me, or he berated me over the fact that I've done all this stuff, like all the people that died at my hands. Virgil still being one of the hard ones. He was such a nice guy. It's like, it just sucks with the nice guy, the guy that's basically just trying to keep the people's spirits up. Oh, that's still gonna hurt. Yeah, so it's interesting to see that now I am at that point. So we are going into the final part of this, which will be part 53. This is the second to last video. This is the end for me, like in the story arc. The next part is basically just kind of looking into the two other endings, which I will be doing a little bit of commentary on as well. So for right now, I'm going to be calling it here, and I'm going to be kind of fading into the end card slot now. So if you like the video, hopefully you've enjoyed this run. If you've seen the whole thing, if not, start all the way back to episode 1 and just see how I went from there. And we'll go from there and till the next part, and I do my additional commentary on that part. Hope you people have a good day, and peace.